Hey guys, welcome back to Ghoulin Around. Today we're continuing with the John Carpenter series looking at 1995's In the Mouth of Madness starring Sam Neill. So today I'm your host, Jason Massey, joining me as always,
Joanne Massey.
Loretta Mooney.
Yeah, so let's get on into it. Sam Neill, for you guys who have not seen the movie or heard of it, like many of us when we looked up this movie, Insurance investigator, Sam Neill, basically gets a job to go hunt down a disappeared horror writer, and things start getting freaky as the books start coming to life and whatnot. So, yeah.
Yeah,
pretty
that
much.
was kind of weird.
Yeah, it's a very weird movie.
But also throughout the movie, you can tell this is a Carpenter movie.
Yeah, it's
very, very much so.
Just visually and like how it's directed, you can tell it's a Carpenter movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's I kind of enjoyed it because it was kind of a different take on a writer and his world is coming to life.
Yeah.
So it was kind of interesting in that aspect.
It's like a lot of horror movies we watch, especially like Stephen King ones or whatnot, they always like happen to a writer. Like a writer's like, oh, I'm going to do this, and then all this freaky shit starts happening. Whereas like
Misery.
Yeah, Misery.
Yeah.
But this one, it's kind of like the writer is like the antagonist.
Yeah.
That you find out. Spoiler alert for you guys who haven't seen the movie yet. You should maybe watch it if you're into weird horror movies, or you just want to see a Carpenter flick, or just Sam Neill. But the main character finds out he's a character in the book, and the horror writer basically is like an evil god because everything he writes comes to life thanks to like some ancient monsters or whatnot that are locked in the earth or some shit, and that he's trying to free them.
Yeah.
And
they like this town, is created from this writer, and like once he gets out of the town, it like disappears. Nobody's never heard of it. It's kind of odd, but it was kind of interesting from the aspect, like I said, from the writer and his books coming to life. I thought it was cool.
Really weird creatures.
Yes. Yeah, very weird creature designs.
Once you see the creatures, you know it's Carpenter.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing that was like, oh, those are John Carpenter's creatures.
Yep.
I love practical effects, but those ones were just like
Carpenter's real good at the whole practical effect department.
Yes.
That's the one thing I like about his movies, is that instead of doing like bad CGI or whatnot, he always usually tries to go practical, and for the most part it works.
It works really good. I mean, at least
the Thing still holds up.
Yeah, The Thing is just amazing. What he did with that movie and the creatures that he created for that.
I just watched that the other day ago.
It
was on TV again. I was like, ooh.
It's a good movie. It's rewatchable.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I've seen it quite a few times.
Yeah, a bunch.
A bunch, yes.
This one, I think I would watch it again just because I feel like I missed a lot.
That's kind of how I feel too, because you're kind of just, it's kind of like The Thing, you watch it and it's like, oh, okay, let me rewatch this. Oh, I didn't realize this. I didn't realize that. And this is one of those movies.
This one was just like, it was so weird and it was very jumpy.
Yeah,
on purpose though, because
it was weirdly formatted.
Yes.
See, I thought I lost something when they were driving to when they got to the town, because it was just it just kind of like all of a sudden they were there.
Yeah, it was very weird that so I feel like the first third of the movie is my least favorite. I like the back half of the movie, but the first bit where both he and the girl that he was traveling with, what was her name?
Styles.
How the entire time they're driving, each time one of them drives, they freak out and have these weird visions. It's why the fuck are you guys still driving?
Both of them were having these weird, strange visions, and like she hits some dude on a bike.
Yeah.
It was just like,
We completely
What
glossed
do we
over
do?
that. She
Yeah.
fucking mows down a guy on a bike, and then they jump out of the car to help him. He goes back to the car, and he just gets up and rides off into the night. And they're just like, okay, let's never talk about this.
yeah. So it's just really kind of strange.
And then she's like on the back of the bike later on,
Yeah.
riding down the highway
Yeah.
with him. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, it was really strange.
It was very strange. But
I think like probably the weirdest part that I thought was the weirdest part is when it shows behind the counter and her husband's like,
husband's handcuffed to her ankle.
yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
What the hell is going on here? And he's butt naked,
Yeah.
laying
she's
on
like,
the
"Shut
floor.
up."
And she's like down there kicking, shut up. It's like, oh my god, what the hell is going on with this?
I was like, all I know is she's gonna kill him later with an axe because that's what happened in the book.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was so weird.
it was weird.
I think them turning into creatures was just a little much. I think
Yeah.
they could have done a little bit less.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like still have them turn into creatures, but like less weird.
Yeah. Like, less over the top.
Yeah.
But, how'd you feel about the ending?
I don't know. That one was just like, what happened? Because like,
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna know what happened because it's supposed to be like he has memory loss of some sort.
Well, so the thing that happens is, so he ends up, like, watching a movie called In the Mouth of Madness. Basically, that is the movie.
and he goes like absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
watching himself
Because he
on
realizes
big
that
screen.
he's a character in the book.
Yeah, and he goes absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
I was thinking at the very end there when he was laughing, I was expecting him to turn into one of those creatures.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just it was all the way around kind of strange, but
Yeah.
Pretty much the book like forced an apocalypse upon the world.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
whatever the horror dude wrote, his name was like Crane something, Sutter Crane.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever he wrote basically became reality, so he wrote the main character's character, so he became a real person. And then like he told him, "Hey, you're a character." And he's like, "Oh, it has to be reality."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh shit, I'm a character."
Yeah, that was really strange. I thought it was really weird that like he was like untouched when he was in the insane asylum because he
Yeah.
had the crosses everywhere.
yeah.
And he had them all over his face and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Then he gets out and
Well,
he wipes
did you
them
see his
off. And I'm like, what are you
clothes?
doing?
But he had them all over his clothes though
Yeah,
too.
I know.
So
Basically, head to toe, he had black crayon crosses
Yeah.
all over him.
Yeah, but then when he comes out, he wipes them off of his skin. He still has them on his clothes, but I was like, I still keep that shit on my skin because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I was really confused at the part. Okay, so this is like him telling the story of like what happened. And the guy's like, how'd you get put in here? And it shows him like kind of homeless and like crazy. And he like mows down that guy with an axe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he goes to the book release and the guy's reading the book, and so he kills the guy.
because
Yeah.
he's trying to keep the apocalypse from happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought that was like really oddly put in there.
It was. It was very strange. I think I want to watch it again because I think there's like pieces that I missed.
Yeah.
Because there was so much.
Yeah. And like, so after I watched this, I was like, this has got to be like a book or something, right? Because like we're missing stuff.
Nope.
And there's not a book.
No.
It was just John Carpenter.
Yeah, it's just a John Carpenter movie.
They've made a book after the movie,
Yeah.
but it
it's
wasn't
not
a
the same.
book. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was hoping it would be a book, so I thought it'd have more
Backstory?
insight. Yeah, more insight into all of it. I thought that would be more interesting, but there's not a book.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I would have liked it. if
What
it
was
a
your
book.
favorite part?
I don't know. I kind of liked the ending. I kind of liked after he escapes the asylum. What about you?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I thought a lot of it was just really weird.
Yeah, it's a very, very odd movie.
Even just when we watched the trailer before we watched the movie, this was not what I was expecting by any means.
See, I didn't watch the trailer before I watched it.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. We watched it together.
Oh, okay. I don't remember.
Yeah, and it's not what I was expecting.
I thought it was going to be one thing that was like another thing, and
threw you for a loop.
Yeah. It's like it's an interesting concept, but I don't like the way it was done.
It was very oddly done.
Yeah, so, especially for like story pacing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you remember how he keeps walking down that alley?
Yes.
And the poster's kind of ripped.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept looking behind it. What do you think he was seeing?
I don't know, because the first time
I don't know if he was like seeing the abyss, if he was seeing creatures, if he was looking back on himself. I didn't know what the hell he was seeing because he kept looking behind there like something was there.
Yeah, but like the first time that he looked back there, he didn't have any facial expression, so I was thinking, okay, there's nothing back there. And then the next time, he's kind of like got a little bit more expression on his face, but you kind of still get the vibe that there's still nothing back there.
Yeah.
But then, like, when he's in that, like, dungeon thing, and the guy kind of, like, turns into a poster and, like, rips.
Well, he, like, opens the doorway for the
Yeah, so I'm wondering
creatures.
If he saw something behind it.
I'm pretty sure he did.
I think he was seeing something behind there.
Maybe he just didn't believe in it.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think he was seeing something, but he was just like, no. Like,
yeah.
But I thought that was really interesting. Especially when he kept coming down the alley and like it was the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part was probably when he kept trying to drive out of town and he kept ending up in town.
Like right in front of the crowd.
Yeah, and he's like, shit. He turn around and do it again. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think the girl getting out of the car was really well done as well.
Well, that was one of the parts that you can look at and say, absolutely say that's Carpenter, no matter what. I mean,
she gets out fucking...
She's all contorted.
Walking on her hands and knees.
With her head upside down.
Yeah, her head completely flipped around.
It was weird. But that reminded me of the thing where the head comes off and it's got the little, spider legs coming out of it because it had that same type of look to it.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, I think that part definitely holds up. I think.
Yeah. That was my favorite part. Just because of the fact that you can see that it's Carpenter.
Yeah. I loved like the practical effects with the creatures, but I do not think they hold up.
No.
Yeah.
Like they were just like out there.
Yeah, they were.
So I didn't think that part hold up.
No.
Would you recommend this movie?
Yeah. I would say go ahead and watch it if you're a fan of like Carpenter or just want to see like some horror movies you've maybe never heard about or whatnot. But also, especially this is part of a 3-part like apocalypse series that Carpenter did.
Apocalypse series.
Yeah, the first two being The Thing.
Yeah, it's supposed to interact with The Thing and also
Prince of Darkness.
Yeah,
this is the third in
See,
those
it did
three.
have kind of the Prince of Darkness kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
I still don't see how they all interact, but
maybe it's like well, I mean, each one takes place like years after the other. So, like, the Thing could have happened in the world, and then it's like, oh, the apocalypse didn't happen because the Thing died. And it's like, okay, there's a devil trying to come into the world. Oh, they stopped the devil. All right, how about a horror writer that writes monstrosities? Oh, you didn't stop him. All right, there we go.
They're just trying to force an apocalypse here.
Yeah. It's basically like a D&D campaign where it's like you stop one bad guy after another, and then the one time you fail, the apocalypse happens, so you just give up.
Well, now it finally happened.
Yeah, it finally happened, so...
I'm interested to see more and more of his stuff, especially now that we're getting into like the late 90s. Now we're gonna start seeing like I wonder if he's gonna start using like some CGI or not.
I can't see Carpenter doing that. Just
I can't see it either.
He's so innovative with his
I feel like if
stuff.
he did, he would use it to a very minimal effect.
True.
Like maybe adding buildings in the shot of like a landscape or whatnot, but like nothing too like.
Yeah, I think like his monsters type of thing is always going to be practical because I think he enjoys.
Yeah.
creating that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I don't
Who
know.
was the guy that played the doctor in the white coat? He looked so familiar.
He was very familiar.
I
He was an
so
older
familiar.
actor, and I can't remember his name, but I've seen him in quite a few things.
I
and then,
saw
of course,
him
you
as
have
a-
Charlton Heston in there, too.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't Danny Glover in there?
That's who.
He was the guy that was the... he'd seen him at the beginning, but right towards the end when he goes into the office and he's like, "Oh no, you handed me the manuscript."
Oh,
that was
okay.
Charlton Heston.
Okay.
Yeah.
His boss.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The guy that hired him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't even recognize him.
You didn't?
I didn't recognize him.
The first thing that I thought, though, like when he escapes the town and he's got the manuscript
Mm.
and he just drops it and walks away, I was like, why didn't you burn it?
Yeah, I would have burned
Well,
that
he
shit.
burned it in the.
I know he
the
eventually
hotel, yeah.
burned it,
Yeah.
but
and it still showed up.
I know, but that would be like my first thing because somebody's gonna find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Especially
that would be
if
my
it was
first
this thing
idea.
that like caused the apocalypse. I'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, I'm burning this shit.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna leave it for somebody else to find.
Yeah.
And then
So-
it just automatically showed up at the hotel where nobody knew that he was there. And then he tried to burn it in the sink in the hotel room. And then you skip to him in the office and then, "Oh no, we got that. You brought it into us like 3 weeks ago, or 2 or 3 weeks ago, or something like that." And he's like, "What?" So it still ended up, even though he burned it, it still
Yeah.
ended up getting out there.
I know that, but it was still just like that would be the first thing on my mind is burn the damn thing,
Yeah.
Mhm.
not just drop it for somebody else to
Well,
find.
he was, trying to get out of the town. He probably wasn't thinking correctly because he had just been through
Yeah.
all this stuff. I mean, seriously, if you were just trying to get out of the town and, drop the manuscript, I don't know if you'd be in your right mind to go, "Oh, well, maybe I should burn it first."
I don't know. Would you recommend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say if you have a spare 2 hours, go ahead and watch it. It's interesting. I feel like it has like a very good premise, and maybe you would like the premise. Who knows? But yeah, it's just weirdly done, weirdly paced, but it's still good. It's still a good movie, I would guess. So yeah.
I'd say if you're a fan of like creatures, definitely watch
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Creatures. This reminded me so much of the movie called The Void, which can be found on Shudder, and I think it's still on Netflix. But that one was a huge creature movie as well. And the creatures look like that.
Mm.
So I think if people even liked The Void, which I don't know who the hell would like that movie, but if you liked that, you'll definitely like this one because the creatures are very similar.
Yeah, plus like the movie's like basic plot gave me very much like Stephen King vibes.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
and they even mentioned
They
Stephen
even name
King,
drop him.
like a couple of times in there. They're talking about like this Sutter Crane is even bigger than Stephen King, and
Yeah.
Stephen King doesn't even hold a candle to him. I'm like, okay, I don't know if I'm gonna like this movie because I am such a huge Stephen King fan. But I mean, it eventually came. I was okay with it just
Yeah.
because
What about you, Mom? Would you recommend it?
Yeah, I would recommend it just because, I mean, it's definitely a Carpenter movie. It has that whole, the thing type of feel to it. It is a little odd, but I think once you kind of get through the oddness part of it, I think it was pretty good.
Yeah, I would agree. Would you recommend it?
Yeah, I would.
You have it here, 3 recommendations. But
We watched it on, what did we watch it on? Amazon?
yeah, Amazon.
Amazon,
we
yeah.
rented it on Amazon. Like
Yeah.
I didn't see it on Shudder or anything else. So
Yeah, well, there you have it for In the Mouth of Madness. I think that pretty much covers a lot of it. So yeah, we all recommend it. So if you have a free moment, if you have Amazon Prime, go ahead and rent it, watch it, tell us what you think. But yeah, besides that, like, subscribe, click the links below, ring the bell for notifications when we continue our John Carpenter movies, as always, and as well as our clown series and all of our other series. Because yeah, we just love making them. So yeah, besides that, keep on Ghoulin.